Airbnb was supposed to be the affordable and authentic staying experience that would change the way we traveled. Instead, it's become a cesspool of hidden fees and chore lists, leaving travelers wondering, why not just choose a hotel instead? In this video, we're breaking down how Airbnb lost its magic. Back in 2008, Airbnb's story sounded like a startup fairy tale. Two broke roommates in San Francisco rented out air mattresses in their apartment, called it Air Bed and Breakfast, and promised travelers something new: cheaper stays that actually felt authentic. For years, the pitch worked. Instead of soulless hotel chains, you could book quirky lofts, rustic cabins, or spare bedrooms at a fraction of the price. Guests got a personal touch, hosts made side income, and the whole thing felt like a clever life hack. By the early 2010s, Airbnb was exploding. Millions of bookings, billions in funding, and entire hotel chains suddenly worried about losing customers. During the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, over 100,000 travelers stayed in Airbnbs. Investors saw a rocket ship, and for a while, they were right. By 2021, Airbnb was not just growing, it was profitable. While Uber and other sharing economy startups bled billions, Airbnb managed to report over $800 million in quarterly profit. It looked unstoppable, but the cracks were already forming. The first big crack in Airbnb's image was price. What began as the budget-friendly alternative to hotels often ended up costing more. A listing that looked like $120 a night could balloon to $250 by the time checkout rolled around. Once service fees, cleaning charges, and surprise extra guest add-ons were stacked on top. And if that wasn't bad enough, many hosts doubled down on the audacity. Even after pocketing hefty cleaning fees, they left guests with long chore lists: strip the beds, run the dishwasher, sweep the floors, and take out the trash. In some cases, people were literally asked to mop bathrooms or wash towels before leaving, all while paying hotel-level prices. Travelers were baffled. If you're paying $200 a night, why are you scrubbing someone else's shower? That disconnect lit a fire online. Social media feeds filled with screenshots of outrageous house rules, like hosts charging $20 to use the washing machine or asking guests to mow the lawn. Memes mocked the absurdity, turning what should have been a clever life hack into a global punchline. What was once Airbnb's charm, quirky, personal, authentic stays, flipped into frustration. Instead of freedom and affordability, it started to feel like paying luxury prices to work as an unpaid housekeeper. And once travelers noticed the math didn't add up, they began questioning the entire value of the platform. The second big shift? Airbnb stopped feeling local. In the beginning, it was about regular people sharing a spare room. But soon, investors realized the money at stake. Entire condos, houses, and even apartment buildings got scooped up by landlords running full-time Airbnb hotels. Neighborhoods that once housed families turned into tourist zones. The impact was brutal. In cities like New York, Lisbon, and Barcelona, rents spiked as long-term housing vanished. Locals were priced out, communities lost their character, and the dream of living like a local became a punchline. Because your host wasn't a neighbor, they were a faceless investor you'd never meet. Guests noticed the difference too. Stays no longer felt personal. They felt like side hustles with lockboxes. And with no consistent standard, every stay became a gamble. Unlike hotels, which guarantee basics like clean sheets and secure rooms, Airbnb has no baseline standard. One stay might be fantastic, spotless, welcoming, exactly as advertised. The next could be a nightmare: broken locks, missing amenities, or even hidden cameras. Reviews tell horror stories. One guest was falsely billed $7,000 in damages they never caused. Another reported being pressured to hand over passports to a shady host, only to flee after realizing the listing didn't match the photos. On the flip side, hosts complained too. Trashed homes, stolen items, nightmare guests. With no front desk, no security, and often no resolution from Airbnb support, both sides ended up feeling burned. The result? Broken trust. Guests didn't know what to expect. Hosts felt unprotected. and the whole system lost credibility. As neighborhoods transformed into revolving hotel districts, cities started to push back. New York effectively banned most short-term rentals in apartments. Barcelona capped how many nights properties could be rented per year. Lisbon froze new Airbnb licenses altogether. Across Europe and beyond, protests broke out. Locals marched with signs demanding tourists go home. Some even took to the streets with water guns, targeting visitors they saw as intruders. The message was clear. Airbnb wasn't just annoying guests. It was eroding housing markets and community life, and regulators weren't going to let it slide. Ironically, all this chaos turned into free advertising for hotels. Because when you compare at a hotel, you get fresh towels, a front desk, 24/7 support, and no surprise cleaning fee. But at an Airbnb, you might be asked to mow the lawn before you leave. What started as disruption ended up making the old model look better than ever. By 2025, hotel revenue per room was climbing, occupancy rates were recovering, and cities like San Francisco saw hotel business surge by 70%. Travelers who once swore by Airbnb started asking, why not just book a hotel and avoid the headache? Airbnb knows it has a problem. But instead of fixing the basics, it's been pivoting into side bets. The company is investing billions into experiences and services. That means offering things like personal chefs, private trainers, or even once-in-a-lifetime events. From beach volleyball with Olympians to hangouts with pop stars. In theory, these high-margin experiences could help Airbnb stand out. But critics argue they miss the point. The problem isn't a lack of celebrity experiences, it's that regular people don't want to do chores on vacation while paying hotel prices. Meanwhile, investors are nervous. With slowing bookings, rising costs, and sideways stock performance, some are even shorting the company. Airbnb may still be massive, but it's no longer seen as invincible. Airbnb's story is a warning for every disruptor. Growth and hype can carry you only so far. But if you forget the customer, disruption backfires. Travelers didn't want a high-tech hotel replacement. They wanted affordable, authentic stays. Instead, they got hidden fees, unpredictable standards, and hosts who treated them like intruders. In trying to be both a tech company and a hospitality company, Airbnb ended up being neither. And maybe that's the ultimate irony. The more Airbnb disrupted, the more people learned to appreciate hotels again. So, is Airbnb doomed? Not yet. It's still a huge platform, and many travelers still swear by it. But the shine has worn off. The promise of love like a local feels broken, and competitors, from hotels to upstarts, are ready to fill the gap. If you loved watching this breakdown of why Airbnb is going bust, you might also want to watch our video on why Claire's keeps filing for bankruptcy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.